I know we have a tendency of ridiculing people who are domesticated, in particular housewives, or house husbands, if there's anybody like that. And we think just because they are handling domestic responsibilities, they are not at the same level as we are. Let me tell you something. Looking after a home, it's a huge responsibility than what you are doing in the corporate space. The corporate space is taking your time, energy, and everything that you have, but you are building someone else's business. While the person that you think has it all easy because they are at home is doing all they can to make sure that the home is stronger, to make sure that the house is looked after, to make sure that there is a meal, there is a clean house, the kids are fine, are taken care of, and everything. And you thinking just because you are in the corporate world, you are better than them. Let me tell you something. You can fail in the corporate world. You can fail in the corporate world, right? And the effect of failing in the corporate world are not the same as the effect of failing at home. I don't know if maybe you do understand me. What I'm trying to say is that don't look down on people who are paying attention to domestic responsibilities, because that is a lot to take. That is a lot to do. So at least do not be lost in translation. Do not just be taken, to and fro by people who don't understand what it means to be domesticated. Marriages survives on with spouses who understand their domestic responsibilities. Some of you don't even have sex if and whenever you want because the corporate world is taking all your energy. Now, I'm not saying sex, it's a domestic responsibility. Oh, yeah, it is in actual fact. It is what needs to be done at home, it is what needs to be done in your marriage. So it is. Some of you refuses to even cook a simple meal or make tea or coffee for your spouse because you are tired from work. I can share a story with you. There's a lady who called asking for counseling. She was upset. She was all over the roof. Her husband is a chef. He works like long, crazy hours. He comes home late. Sometimes he even, comes in the wee hours of the morning because of the type of work that he does. He works for a huge corporate entity in South Africa. She is at home around 4 o'clock or even 5. The kids are older. They can do whatever they want. The guy just asked one day, can you please just cook this for me? Can you believe she refused? Her reason being that, no, you are a chef and I don't like cooking. And I was like asking her, don't you know how to cook or you just don't want to cook? No, I don't want to cook. I can cook. I don't want to cook because he knows I hate cooking. And I'm like, but this is your husband just asking you to prepare this simple meal for him. So what is wrong with that? No, he knows I hate cooking. I can't do it. He must just come home. And believe me, this is a man who cooks meals for her every day. Like since they met. This is the man who's been cooking for her. But she refused to prepare just a simple meal. She's a corporate lady. She's making a lot more than he does. She is, up there. In comparison to him, in terms of the money that she brings, she is up there. Think about this. The guy, for me, was a jackpot. He was. But just this one instant where he asked her, can you please do this? She refused. The attitude of rebelling against domestic responsibilities. And unfortunately, today I can share with you that marriage is normal. It's normal. Over a simple thing. But it's not a simple thing. It's not as simple as the meal. It is about the attitude behind it. How about I am doing this for my husband, who is working long hours, who cooks for me if and whenever I need a meal. Just this once, let me do something to please my spouse. And she refused. So all I'm saying is, stop looking down at domestic responsibilities. Stop looking down at people who are inclined to domestic responsibilities. The fact that you are in the corporate world doesn't make you any better. You are busy building someone's legacy. You are busy building someone's entity. And they are rewarding you for it. But you have the audacity to look down at someone who's taking domestic responsibilities. Even worse, when you find people who are married, one spouse is looking down on the other because, well, she's a housewife. I'm doing everything. I'm taking care of all the business in this house. I'm taking care of all the bills and everything like that. Who is building that house? Who's making sure that that home is intact? Who's making sure that the meals are cooked, the house is clean, everything is taken care of? Can you go into the corporate world and still come home and do the same thing? Do everything? Can you do that? Let us understand that whoever has come up with this idea of rebelling against domestic responsibilities had their own reasons. But one thing I can tell you is that they were lost in translation. They were rebelling against a behavior where they found themselves in, and they found this is not how things should be, and they started rebelling against it. Now they are bringing it out there and make domestic responsibilities like they are nothing, like they are easy, like that, hey, it's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being looking after the house. It's not easy. It is not easy. Don't look down at these people. Don't look down at each other. The corporate world is really misleading us, if I may be honest with you, because we think now we are up there. That's why we've been given terms like middle class and all those kind of things. But for you to look down on your spouse, or even for you as someone who's working to look down at a woman who's a housewife, or a woman who's domesticated, or this is why we even disrespect the helpers, whereas they wash even our undies, but we disrespect them because they're just the helpers. Treat them whichever way we want. We need to change our mindset. We need to change.